going to do a fun color with me, and I'm going to be doing this character from a Draw This in Your Style challenge, and I will post the image that we're working with up in the right hand corner. So let's get started. Alright guys, so we're going to start here, and I'm going to find some corresponding colors. It looks like this is a very warm color palette with yellow and orange. So we'll see what colors I have in my bucket here that correspond with that. Okay, so, and I usually use a sheet of scrap paper so I can check colors, even though Copics are pretty accurate, but I like to just double check before I put it down on the page because there's no takebacks. So let's see here. I'm not sure I quite have the colors needed, but I think I can make do. Okay, looks like that might work. Slip that paper back under there. And I'm going to start with her face, because that is my favorite part to start with. So I'm going to start with the lightest color, YR61, which is a bit orangey, but I think once we add in all the other warm colors, it'll blend in a little bit more. So I'm adding just little small areas of highlight that are going to be the white of the paper. Which I've been kind of into these days. Get her neck there, and I'm obviously super messy when it comes to Copic markers, so you might see me making a lot of little tiny errors with the bleeding outside the lines, but you know, this is a sketchbook, so try to have fun in it and not really take it so seriously, because I feel like the point is to practice different ways of drawing things, so then when you get to your final pieces, you're not ruining them with ideas that you haven't really tested and put on paper. Okay. So next we're going to go in with E13, which should make her a lot browner, which is what I was looking for. It's more of like, her skin's a yellowy brown, but I don't have too many of those at the moment, so I'll go with this. I find that layering is pretty fun for skin tones because it adds a bit of depth that, you know, a single color just can't create. So I kind of try and really analyze skin tones when I'm out in the world and, you know, see people of different skin tones, because, you know, they say everyone has a reddish undertone. So I like to sometimes add a light undertone to my skin tones. And it does make it pop. I mean, the only kind of like downside is if you don't, you know, add that much depth into the rest of the painting, the skin can look a little more polished, maybe a little more overdone. But I don't know, I like it. I like a lot of saturated color. And specifically with skin tones, I find just a single color to be too flat. You know, and adding shadow, especially colored shadows, tends to help. But, I don't know, for me, I kind of want that depth all over. But when it comes to my style, I don't particularly like to, you know, spend hours and hours and hours on skin. You know, it's not really my favorite part personally. I like the clothes and all the different colors within the overall piece. And I don't really, you know, I don't do realism, so to me adding a whole lot of depth to the skin just kind of pushes it in that direction of realism, which I don't particularly care for. I like to sit down and, you know, work on pieces and get them done within a couple of days. Sometimes I feel like adding too much depth just kind of, you know, just tacks on more time, let's put it that way. So now I'm going to go in and add some of the darker shadows. Blend a little bit of that out with the E13. And I'm going in and adding the shadows from a lot of the things around her as well. I mean, we're going to go back with some blue shadows anyway, but just kind of want to add a little bit more of an undertone there if I can. We're basically keeping the shadows in roughly the same place as the original drawing. Because since this is just, you know, fan art, I don't see the need to add, you know, a completely different light source from a different direction. It's just adding a little bit more complication. Trying to get back into, you know, using my sketchbook for fun, and part of that is just kind of letting go of all of the things that can make it complicated. Let's put it that way. The things that can make a drawing feel a little bit more complicated than it needs to be. Just going back over this because, again, the colors are not the perfect shade for this character because I don't have all the colors I really need. So I'm just kind of winging it here. Just going to blend in and add a little bit more color to some of these areas. So, how are you guys doing with the quarantine? For me, this is week 2. And my job just finally got approved for shared work because they cut everybody's hours and furloughed some people. So, you know, they're trying to make sure that those of us that, you know, are a part of the company, was once a part of the company before the quarantine happened, you know, we can get our benefits because, you know, our company's pretty awesome, and they plan on hiring back everybody once this is all over with, because, you know, I don't think they had that in their plans, obviously. You know, most companies probably didn't, you know, just get rid of half of your workforce because you don't want any of them to get sick, and, you know, it's just a whole thing. You know, with too many people being in a building and with the virus spreading the way it does, it's like, you know, you're kind of boxed in, you know, because our company thankfully is equipped for most people to work from home, except for production. So, you know, it's just one of those things that, you know, I don't think anybody's really prepared for. It just kind of comes out of nowhere, and, you know, gotta kind of handle it how you can handle it. So, for me, I've been drawing a lot. I mean, what have you guys been doing? I'd like to know. Been playing a lot of Animal Crossing, not Animal Crossing, Jesus. Playing a lot of, Stardew Valley. Good God. I've been reading way too many memes about, you know, the difference between Animal Crossing and Stardew, and, you know, the animosity between the groups, because, you know, they're both similar games and mechanics, but different when it talks about, you know, what type of tone you want in the game, what you plan on doing in the game, you know, because Stardew is mainly about farming, so I'd recommend people, if you like Harvest Moon and things like that that are strictly geared towards farming, that you give that game a try. It's pretty fun, pretty addictive. Go back in and color some of these areas that need to be solid. I think I missed that. Okay. So now I'm going to go in with a light cream, maybe a skin white. I'm going to go back to our test page here. Really test out some colors. I don't really have, this is the lightest yellow I have. It's super lemon. And that's not really what I want to do. Okay, so pale fruit pink, which is still pink-ish, but just trying to get a feel for the colors and the tone. Yeah, I think we'll go with wire 21 and the E00. It's not quite yellow. Not quite that super goldenrod. Not goldenrod, that pale yellow of the hair, but it will do. So we'll start over this way. Sorry, you guys, I keep shaking the table, but I just want to get up and double check how many minutes I have left on my camera, because it will only record for 10 minutes roughly before it shuts off. So I'm going to go in and that's the problem. Looks like it is out of ink. So put that in that bucket over there. go with E000. Also, that's the one thing that's kind of annoying about Copics is, you know, they don't necessarily warn you when they're running out of ink. You know, especially when it comes to colors that you may not use very often, like some of these paler colors. Yeah, because like I said, I like saturated colors, so I don't really use the pastels and the pales all that frequently. And eyebrows. We'll have to define that part later. This is probably the funnest part of this image for me to draw is the hair, because it's like so voluminous in the original artwork. I'm like, that's what I want. Oh, shit. Well, we'll have to cover that. That's another fun thing is you know, that's my inking pen's bleeding all over everything. But that's okay. I'll go ahead and add some shadows. And go ahead and color in some of the areas. Like that back part of the hair there, that's going to be in shadow. Here I'm just kind of eyeballing it, you know, because my drawing isn't exactly what was originally drawn, so there's some areas. And you know, this is kind of my style. I like to make a mess and then I'll go back and I'll fix it later. You know, because I do work a full-time job, so I don't necessarily have all the time in the world to perfect a single piece. Especially since I'm so unknown on Instagram and social media, so it's like no one's going to be looking at this probably. Alright guys, so next we're going to take the Y19 and we're going to start making stripes. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up. The rest of this is going to be coloring in the stripes and adding the blue shadows as well as the gray background. So, I mean, all of that's pretty straightforward. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Alright guys, it looks like we are done. And this is the final piece.